arranged by the Forbidden Alpha King. A full werewolf romance audiobook math format by Shadow Howl's Tale. Hey there, my incredible listeners. Welcome back to another spine-tingling werewolf shifter romance that's going to keep you up way past your bedtime. I'm talking forced bonds, deadly rogues, and an alpha so forbidden he'll make your heart race and your knees weak. I'm your host, and having you here makes this whole thing magical, like howling at the moon with family you've never met but somehow always knew. Your support is everything. Every listen, every like, every comment, it's like finding your true mate in a world full of betrayal and broken promises. So tonight, we're diving deep into a story about sacrifice, power, and a woman who's about to be traded like property to save her father's miserable life. We've got Rowland Park, the forbidden alpha king who doesn't ask permission. He takes what he wants. And Bella Moore, a woman with ancient bloodlines whose one choice will either save her father or doom them both. Get comfortable, grab your favorite blanket, maybe some snacks if you're settling in for the night, and let's sink our teeth into this delicious, dangerous tale. The moon is full, the rogues are circling, and someone's debt is about to be paid in the most unexpected way. If you're new here, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you never miss a release. We drop these stories daily because I know you need your fix. And if you're vibing with the story, throw us a like. It helps more than you know. For my loyal crew, welcome home. Picture this. You're running through a dark forest, your father's terrified voice echoing behind you. And you have no idea what's coming. But something is. Something powerful. Something that's been watching you for months. And when those golden eyes emerge from the shadows, your life as you know it. It's over. Ready to run with the pack? Let's begin. Chapter 1. Bella. The howl that pierces the night air sends ice through my veins. I'm running through the forest behind our pack house, my breath coming in ragged gasps as branches claw at my clothes and hair. The moon is full overhead, casting silver light through the dense canopy, and I can hear them behind me, the patrol wolves, their paws thundering against the earth as they hunt. But they're not hunting me. They're hunting my father. Bella! His voice cracks through the darkness, desperate and afraid. Bella, please, come back! I skid to a halt, my sneakers sliding on the damp leaves as I spin around. Through the trees, I can see the lights of our pack house, what used to be our pack house, glowing warm and false in the distance. My father's silhouette staggers toward me, and even from here I can smell the fear rolling off him in waves. Something is very, very wrong. I've never seen my father afraid. Luke Moore has always been unshakable, the beta of the Silvercrest pack, second only to Alpha Jonathan himself. But the man stumbling toward me now looks nothing like the confident warrior who raised me after Mom died 5 years ago. Dad, what's happening? I demand as he reaches me, grabbing my shoulders with trembling hands. His eyes are wild, unfocused, and I can see sweat beading on his forehead despite the cool autumn air. What did you do? I'm so sorry, he gasps, his fingers digging into my arms. Bella, I'm so sorry. I thought I could fix it. I thought I had more time. More time for what? Fear claws at my chest. Dad, you're scaring me. What's going on? But before he can answer, the air shifts. The temperature drops so suddenly that my breath fogs, and every wolf instinct I possess screams at me to run. The forest goes silent. No crickets, no nightbirds, nothing. Even the wind seems to hold its breath. And then I smell it, alpha. Not just any alpha. This scent is primal, ancient, laced with power that makes my wolf whimper and press herself flat in submission. It's cedar and smoke, winter frost and something darker, something that speaks of blood and dominance and absolute authority. My father's hands fall away from my shoulders as he drops to his knees. "No," he whispers. "Please, not yet. I need more time. You have no time left, Luke Moore." The voice comes from everywhere and nowhere, deep and resonant with a command that makes my bones vibrate. 3 massive wolves emerge from the shadows, each one larger than any wolf I've ever seen, their eyes glowing amber in the moonlight. They're midnight black, moving with predatory grace, and they form a semicircle around us with military precision. But it's the man who steps out behind them who steals the breath from my lungs. He's tall, at least 6.5 feet, with broad shoulders that strain against the black shirt he wears. His hair is dark, almost black, pushed back from a face that could have been carved from granite. High cheekbones, a strong jaw covered in dark stubble, and a mouth set in a cruel line. But it's his eyes that pin me in place. They're not brown or blue or green. They're gold. Pure, molten gold, like twin flames burning in the darkness. And when they lock onto mine, I feel my wolf surge forward with a mixture of terror and something else, something that feels dangerously like recognition. "Alpha Rowland," my father chokes out, pressing his forehead to the ground in the ultimate sign of submission. "Please, I can explain." "Explain what?" The man, Alpha Rowland, doesn't even look at my father. His golden eyes remain fixed on me, studying me with an intensity that makes me want to bare my throat and run away in equal measure. "Explain how you've been stealing from the Moonstone Pack for 3 years? Explain how you've been selling our secrets to the rogues? Or perhaps you'd like to explain how you plan to disappear tonight with your daughter before I could collect what you owe." My stomach drops. "Dad? What is he talking about?" "Bella, I can explain," my father starts, but Alpha Rowland cuts him off with a gesture so slight it's almost imperceptible. One of the massive black wolves steps forward, and my father's words die in his throat. "You owe me $2 million, Alpha Rowland says, his voice carrying across the clearing like thunder. "You owe me the lives of 3 pack members who died because you sold information about our patrol routes. You owe me answers for why half my pack's females have been kidnapped over the past year." He takes a step closer, and I instinctively back away. "But most of all, Luke Moore, you owe me your life." "Take it," my father whispers. "Take my life. Just please leave Bella out of this. She had nothing to do with any of it. She has everything to do with it." Those golden eyes slide back to me, and I feel like I'm being dissected, examined, weighed, and measured against some invisible standard. My wolf is going crazy inside me, torn between submission and something else, something that feels like longing. "Your father made a deal with rogue wolves," Alpha Rowland continues, circling me slowly like a predator assessing its prey. I force myself to stand still, to meet his gaze even though every instinct screams at me to look away. He sold them information about pack territories, patrol schedules, and most valuable of all, he told them which females would make suitable mates. Strong bloodlines, good breeding stock. The words hit me like a physical blow. "No. Dad wouldn't. Your mother was a purebred wolf from the northern packs," Alpha Rowland interrupts. "Very rare bloodline, very valuable. And you, Bella Moore, inherited every drop of that power." He stops in front of me, so close I can feel the heat radiating from his body. 23 years old, Unmated, fertile, with genetics that any alpha would kill for. You're worth more than everything your father stole combined. My father lets out a broken sob. Please, Alpha Rowland, take me instead. Kill me if you must, but leave her alone. I don't want to kill you, Luke. Alpha Rowland's voice drops to something dark and deadly. Death would be too kind. No, I'm going to give you a choice instead. He finally looks away from me, his golden eyes settling on my father with cold contempt. I can kill you right now, here in this forest, and leave your daughter to fend for herself against the rogue wolves you've been dealing with. They know about her, Luke. They've been watching her. How long do you think she'd survive once word gets out that she's unprotected? My blood turns to ice. Or, Alpha Rowland continues, turning back to me with a smile that doesn't reach his eyes, your daughter can agree to my terms, and I'll let you live barely. You'll work off your debt in my pack, under guard, for the rest of your miserable life. But you'll be alive. What terms? I demand, even though I already know. Deep in my bones, in the part of me that recognizes this male as something other, something more than just another alpha, I know exactly what he's going to say. Alpha Rowland's smile widens, showing a hint of sharp white teeth, yeah. Marry me. The words hang in the air between us like a death sentence. No, I breathe, shaking my head. Absolutely not. You can't just... That's insane. Can't I? He tilts his head, studying me with those unnerving golden eyes. I'm the Alpha King of the Moonstone Territory, Bellamore. The Forbidden Alpha, some call me, because I've been banned from every pack alliance in the region for being too ruthless, too powerful, too dangerous to control. He takes another step closer, and I stumble backward until my back hits a tree. I can do whatever I want. The question is, will you let your father die to avoid becoming my mate? Bella, no, my father gasps. Don't listen to him. Run. Get out of here. One of the massive black wolves moves with lightning speed, pinning my father to the ground with one enormous paw. He yelps in pain, and I see blood seeping through his shirt where claws have pierced his shoulder. Stop! I scream. Don't hurt him! Alpha Rowland holds up a hand, and the wolf eases back slightly, though it doesn't release my father. Then give me your answer, Bella. Right now. Marry me or watch him die. My mind races, searching for options, for any way out of this nightmare. But everywhere I look, I see only those golden eyes, burning with certainty and dark promise. Why me? I whisper. Why do you want to marry me specifically? Something flickers across his face, too quick to read. Because I need an heir, a strong one with pure bloodlines, who can carry on my legacy. You're the perfect candidate, young, fertile, and from a bloodline that hasn't been diluted by weaklings. His voice drops to something almost intimate. And because the moment I caught your scent 3 months ago, my wolf claimed you as mine. The confession sends a shock through my system. 3 months ago. I remember it now, that strange day when I'd felt watched, hunted, but never saw anyone. The day my wolf had been restless and agitated for no reason I could explain. He'd been watching me even then. This is insane, I manage. You can't force someone into a mating bond. I'm not forcing anything, Alpha Rowland corrects smoothly. I'm giving you a choice, a generous one, considering what your father has done. Agree to be my mate, my wife, my Luna, and bear my heir. Do this and your father lives. Refuse. He glances at my father, still pinned beneath the massive wolf. Well, you understand the alternative. Bella, don't, my father begs, his voice weak. Please, sweetheart. Just run. Don't sacrifice yourself for me. But we both know I can't run. Even if I could escape, which I doubt, given the 3 enormous wolves surrounding us, I wouldn't get far. And Alpha Rowland is right about one thing. If the rogues know about me, if they've been watching me, I'm not safe anywhere without pack protection. And this male, this forbidden alpha, he terrifies me. But he also makes my wolf purr with interest, makes something deep in my core respond to his dominance in ways I don't want to examine too closely. If I agree, I hear myself say, my voice sounding distant and strange. What exactly does this arrangement entail? Alpha Rowland's eyes gleam with satisfaction. He knows he's won. A formal mating ceremony within the week. The bond will be completed. Fully. The way he says that last word makes heat flood my cheeks. You'll live in my territory, in my home, as my Luna. You'll bear my children. In exchange, I'll protect you, provide for you, and keep your father alive. How do I know you'll keep your word about my father? Because unlike your father, Bella, I don't break my promises. The words are hard, absolute. Agree to this, and I swear on my alpha blood that Luke Moore will live, confined but alive, for the rest of his natural life. I look at my father, crumpled on the ground, bleeding and broken. The man who raised me, who taught me how to hunt and fight and survive. The man who apparently sold pack secrets and got people killed. I don't know if I can forgive him for what he's done, but I can't let him die. Fine, I whisper, the word tasting like ash on my tongue. I'll marry you. Just don't hurt him anymore. The smile that crosses Alpha Rowland's face is triumphant and terrible. He closes the distance between us in 2 long strides, and before I can react, his hand is on my throat. Not squeezing, just holding, his thumb pressed against my racing pulse. Smart girl, he murmurs, and his voice has dropped to something rough and intimate that makes my wolf keen with confused desire. You've made the right choice, Bella Moore. I promise you won't regret it. But as he signals to his wolves and they begin herding us back toward a massive black SUV waiting at the forest's edge, as my father is dragged along behind us and I catch one last glimpse of the pack house I'll never call home again, I know that's a lie. I'm going to regret this for the rest of my life. I just don't know yet whether that life will be long or mercifully short. Chapter 2, Rowland. The female sits as far from me as possible in the back seat of the SUV, her body pressed against the door like she's contemplating throwing herself out onto the highway. I'd find it amusing if her scent wasn't driving my wolf absolutely insane. She smells like wild honey and pine needles, with an underlying note of something that reminds me of mountain snow. Clean, pure, untouched. It's intoxicating in a way that makes my control slip, makes the predator in me want to cage her, claim her, mark her as mine so thoroughly that every male in a 100-mile radius knows to keep away. But I'm not a fool, not anymore. Where are we going? She asks. Her voice steady despite the fear I can sense rolling off her in waves. Brave little thing. Most wolves would be cowering by now. Moonstone Manor, I reply, keeping my eyes on the road ahead. My driver, Luke, no relation to her traitorous father, handles the vehicle with practiced ease as we leave Silvercrest territory behind. My home. Your home now. I haven't agreed to make it my home, she counters. I agreed to marry you to save my father's life. That doesn't mean I'm gonna play house and pretend this is normal. I turned to look at her then, taking in the stubborn set of her jaw, the fire in her dark eyes. She's beautiful. I'd noticed that before, of course, but seeing her up close, smelling her scent, hearing the defiance in her voice, it's taking all my control not to pin her to the seat and show her exactly how not normal this situation is going to be. You agreed to be my mate, I say softly, dangerously. That means everything, Bella. Where you live, who you spend time with, what you do with your days and your nights. All of it belongs to me now. Her jaw clenches. I'm not property. No, I agree. You're much more valuable than that. She flinches, and I feel a strange twist in my chest. Regret? Impossible. I don't do regret. The drive takes 2 hours, long enough for Bella to fall into an exhausted silence, her head tilted against the window as she watches the landscape change from the familiar forests of Silvercrest to the wild, untamed mountains of Moonstone territory. My lands. We're considered outcasts by most of the pack alliances. Too violent, too unpredictable, too willing to break the old laws when they don't serve us. They call me the Forbidden Alpha because I refuse to bow to the council, refuse to let old males dictate how I should run my pack, or who I should take as a mate. And now I have exactly the mate I want, whether she likes it or not. Moonstone Manor rises from the mountainside like something out of a dark fairy tale. All stone and timber, with towers that reach toward the sky and windows that glow with warm light. It's been my family's seat of power for 6 generations, and it will belong to my heir after I'm gone. My heir, who will be growing in Bella's womb soon enough. The thought makes my wolf snarl with satisfaction. This is impressive, Bella admits grudgingly as we pull through the iron gates. I expected something more, I don't know, evil lairish. Despite myself, I smile. Disappointed? Confused, she corrects. Everything about you screams dangerous alpha male, but your home looks like something from a romance novel. Perhaps I'm more complex than you give me credit for. She snorts. Or perhaps you're trying to lure me into a false sense of security before you reveal your dungeon. I don't need a dungeon to keep you, Bella. I lean closer, enjoying the way her breath hitches. You're going to stay because you choose to. Eventually. Don't count on it. The SUV stops at the main entrance where my beta, Kieran, is waiting with several pack members. He's been with me since we were pups, the only wolf I trust completely, and his dark eyes assess Bella with professional interest as I help her out of the vehicle. She doesn't take my hand, of course. Stubborn female. Alpha, Kieran greets me with a slight bow before turning to Bella. Welcome to Moonstone, Miss Moore. I'm Kieran, beta of this pack. Bella, she says shortly. And I'm not here by choice, so let's not pretend this is a social visit. Kieran's eyebrows rise, but he has the good sense not to comment. Your rooms have been prepared. Alpha Rowland's instructions were very specific. I'm sure they were, Bella mutters. I place my hand on the small of her back, feeling her stiffen at the contact. Come, let me show you your new home. She wants to refuse. I can see it in her eyes, smell it in her scent. But she's smart enough to know that fighting me in front of my pack would only make things harder for her. So she allows me to guide her up the stone steps and through the massive oak doors into the main hall. The interior of Moonstone Manor is less intimidating than the exterior. Warm wood paneling, plush rugs, furniture that's built for comfort rather than show. I've never cared much for ostentation. power doesn't need to announce itself. This way, I say, leading her up a curved staircase to the second floor. Pack members bow as we pass, their eyes curious as they take in their new Luna. Some look pleased, others skeptical. Bella ignores them all, her spine straight, her chin raised in defiance. Gods, she's magnificent. I open the door to the master suite, my suite, and gesture for her to enter. She does slowly, taking in the massive four-poster bed, the sitting area with its fireplace, the floor-to-ceiling windows that overlook the forest below. "This is your room?" she asks. "Our room," I correct. "You'll sleep here, with me." She whirls around, eyes blazing. "Absolutely not. I agreed to marry you, not share your bed immediately." "The ceremony is in 5 days," I say calmly, closing the door behind us. "We'll be sharing much more than a bed after that, Bella. I see no reason to delay the inevitable." "The reason is that I barely know you." She backs away as I approach, her hands raised defensively. "You've kidnapped me, forced me into this arrangement, and now you expect me to just, what, sleep next to you like this is normal?" "I expect you to honor the agreement you made," I reply, closing the distance between us until she's backed against the window. "But if you need time to adjust, I can be patient, to a point." Her eyes search mine, looking for the trap. "What's the catch?" "No catch. You sleep in this room, in that bed, but I won't touch you until after the ceremony." I brace my hands on either side of her head, caging her in. "Unless you ask me to." "That's never going to happen." "We'll see." I lean down, breathing in her scent, feeling my wolf strain against my control. She smells so good, so perfect, and the urge to mark her right now is almost overwhelming. "You should know something, Bella. I didn't lie when I said my wolf claimed you 3 months ago. The moment I caught your scent, I knew you were meant to be mine. This isn't just about bloodlines or heirs, no matter what I said before." "Then what is it about?" Her voice is barely a whisper. "It's about the fact that you're my mate, my true mate. The one female in all the world my wolf will accept." I pull back slightly, meeting her shocked gaze. "And whether you believe it or not right now, your wolf knows it too. That's why you're not fighting harder. That's why, despite your fear and anger, part of you wants this just as much as I do." "You're insane," she breathes, but there's no conviction in her words. "Perhaps." I step away, giving her space. "Get some rest. There's a bathroom through that door and a closet full of clothes that should fit you. We'll talk more tomorrow." "Wait." She grabs my arm as I turn to leave, and the contact sends electricity racing through my veins. She feels it too. I see her eyes widen. See her hand jerk back like she's been burned. "My father, you promised—" "Your father is being held in comfortable quarters in the East Wing," I assure her. "He'll be given medical attention, food, and reasonable accommodations." "I keep my promises, Bella. Always." She nods slowly, and I see exhaustion starting to win out over fear. It's been a long night for her. "Try to sleep," I say more gently. "Tomorrow I'll introduce you to the pack properly, as my Luna." I leave before she can protest, closing the door firmly behind me. Kieran is waiting in the hallway, arms crossed over his chest. "That could have gone worse," he observes. "Or better." "She's got fire. I like her." He falls into step beside me as we head toward my office. "Are you sure about this, Ro? Forcing a mate bond never ends well." "I'm not forcing anything," I argue. "She agreed. Under duress. She had a choice." Kieran gives me a look that says he doesn't believe that for a second. You know this is gonna blow up in your face, right? You can't blackmail a female into loving you. I don't need her to love me, I reply, though the words feel hollow. I need her to give me an heir. Everything else is secondary. But as I close myself in my office and pour a generous measure of whiskey, I know that's a lie. Somewhere between tracking her scent 3 months ago and holding her against that tree tonight, my wolf made a decision that I'm only now understanding. We don't just want Bella Moore as our mate. We want her to want us back. And that's going to be much, much harder than simply forcing her into a ceremony. Chapter 3. Bella, I don't sleep. How could I? I'm lying in a stranger's bed, in a stranger's house. A prisoner masquerading as a future bride. Every time I close my eyes, I see those golden eyes burning into mine, feel the heat of his body caging me against the window, hear his voice saying those impossible words. You're my true mate. It's not possible. True mates are rare, the stuff of legends and bedtime stories. The idea that someone like Rowland Park, the forbidden alpha, feared and respected in equal measure, would claim me as his true mate is absurd. And yet, my wolf hasn't stopped pacing since we arrived. She's not afraid, which is the most confusing part. She should be terrified, should be urging me to run, to fight, to do anything except accept the situation. Instead, she's practically purring. Traitor. I finally give up on sleep as dawn breaks over the mountains, painting the sky in shades of gold and rose. Through the massive windows, I can see the Moonstone Pack territory stretching out below. Dense forest, rolling hills, and in the distance, the shimmer of what might be a lake. It's beautiful. Almost and untamed, just like its alpha. The thought makes me angry, so I push it away and head for the bathroom. At least I can shower and try to wash away the feeling of his hands on my skin, his scent surrounding me. The bathroom is ridiculously luxurious, all marble and brushed gold, with a shower that could fit 6 people and a tub deep enough to drown in. I don't want to like it, don't want to appreciate any of this, but after 20 minutes under the hot spray, I have to admit it beats the cramped bathroom I shared with my father back home. Back in my old home, I correct myself. This is supposed to be home now. I'm toweling off when I hear the door to the bedroom open. My heart leaps into my throat, and I grab for clothes, any clothes, from the closet Rowland mentioned. Everything is my size, which is both impressive and creepy. How long has he been planning this? I yank on jeans and a soft green sweater just as Rowland appears in the bathroom doorway. Good morning, he says, and I hate how good he looks. He's changed from last night's dark clothes into jeans and a black Henley that showcases his muscular arms. His hair is still slightly damp, like he's also just showered, and the golden eyes that haunted my dreams are watching me with an intensity that makes my skin prickle. You could knock, I snap, pushing past him into the bedroom. It's my room. Semantics, he chuckles, and the sound does things to my insides that I absolutely refuse to acknowledge. Did you sleep well? No. That makes 2 of us. He moves to the sitting area, where I notice a tray laden with food has appeared. Fresh fruit, pastries, coffee that smells like heaven. I thought we could have breakfast together, talk. I'm not hungry. Liar, I can hear your stomach growling from here. He pours 2 cups of coffee, adds cream and sugar to one without asking how I take it. Sit, please. The please surprises me enough that I comply, settling into one of the armchairs by the fireplace. He hands me the coffee, which is perfect, damn him, and takes the chair opposite mine. "We need to establish some ground rules," he says. I agree. Rule number 1, you stay out of my personal space. Impossible, we're getting married in 5 days. Then rule number 1 is that this marriage is in name only until I say otherwise. His eyes flash dangerously. That wasn't our agreement. Our agreement was that I marry you and give you an heir. I'm not doing it on your timeline. Bella, no. I set my coffee down with enough force to slosh some over the rim. You've taken everything from me. My home, my freedom, my choice of mate. The least you can do is give me some say in when the bond is completed. For a long moment he just stares at me, and I can see the war playing out behind those golden eyes. His wolf wants to dominate, to take, to claim, but the man seems to be considering my words. "A week," he finally says. "After the ceremony, I'll give you 1 week to adjust before I expect you in our bed. But Bella, understand this. After that week, I will claim you. Fully. And there will be no more delays." It's not ideal, but it's better than I expected. Fine. Good. Now eat something, then I'll show you around the Packlands. I want to refuse, but the pastries do look amazing, and my stomach is staging a minor rebellion. I grab a croissant and bite into it, closing my eyes as butter and flakiness melt on my tongue. When I open them, Rowland is watching me with an expression I can't quite read. "What?" I demand. "Nothing, just you're beautiful when you're enjoying something." The compliment catches me off guard, makes heat rise to my cheeks. "Don't do that." "Do what?" "Act like this is normal. Like we're a normal couple having a normal conversation." "Maybe I want it to be normal," he says quietly. "Maybe I want you to see that I'm not the monster you think I am. You kidnapped me and forced me into marriage. What else would you call that?" "Necessary." He leans forward, elbows on his knees. "Your father's betrayal put a target on your back, Bella. The rogues know about you, and they won't stop until they have you. The only way to keep you safe is to mark you as mine, to make it clear that any wolf who touches you will face the full wrath of the Moonstone Pack. So this is about protection. This is about a lot of things." He runs a hand through his hair, looking almost frustrated. "I won't lie to you. I need an heir. My pack needs stability, needs to know there will be leadership after I'm gone. But it's more than that. 3 months ago, when I first caught your scent, my wolf went crazy. He's never reacted to anyone that way. And when I saw you last night, saw you standing there defending your father despite what he'd done, I knew I was right. You're strong, Bella. Strong enough to be my Luna, to stand beside me, to help me lead this pack. I don't want to lead your pack, I argue. I don't want any of this. Then what do you want? The question is so simple, so direct, that it throws me. What do I want? I wanted a normal life, a chance to find my own mate, fall in love naturally, build a life on my own terms. I wanted to make my mother proud, to honor her memory by being strong and independent and free. But that's gone now, stolen by my father's betrayal and this alpha's ultimatum. I want my butt back, I whisper at Tin. Something like regret flashes across Rowland's face. I can't give you that, but I can give you a new life. One where you're respected, protected, valued. Where you have power and purpose. As your broodmare. His jaw clenches. As my mate, my equal, my Luna. Those are just words. Then let me show you they're more than words. He stands, offering me his hand. Come with me. Let me show you Moonstone, introduce you to the pack. Give me a chance to prove that this doesn't have to be a prison sentence. I stare at his outstretched hand, knowing that taking it is another step down a path I never chose. But what choice do I have? I'm here, bound by the agreement I made, and fighting him every step of the way will only make my life harder. Maybe he's right. Maybe this doesn't have to be a complete nightmare, Sal. Maybe I can find a way to survive this with some shred of dignity intact. I take his hand. Moonstone Pack territory is even more beautiful in daylight. Rowland leads me through the manor and out into gardens that cascade down the mountainside in terraced levels. There are training grounds where wolves in both human and animal form are sparring, a communal dining hall that smells like fresh bread and roasting meat. And everywhere I look, pack members stop to stare. Ignore them, Rowland murmurs as we walk past a group of females who are whispering behind their hands. They're curious about their new Luna. Give them time. They hate me. They don't know you yet. We continue walking, and I become aware that Rowland hasn't let go of my hand. His grip is firm but not painful. His thumb occasionally brushing over my knuckles in a gesture that might be unconscious. It shouldn't feel as good as it does. The pack house is there, he says, pointing to a large building near the center of the compound. That's where most of the unmated wolves live, where we hold pack meetings, celebrations. You'll spend a lot of time there as Luna. What exactly does a Luna do? I ask, genuinely curious despite myself. She's the heart of the pack, Rowland explains. The alpha is the strength, the leader, the protector. But the Luna is the nurturer, the mediator, the one who keeps the pack functioning as a family rather than just a military unit. She settles disputes, organizes events, looks after the young and elderly, ensures everyone has what they need. That sounds like a lot of responsibility. But I think you're more than capable. He glances at me. My mother was Luna before she died. She was the strongest female I've ever known, second only to... He trails off. Second only to? Second only to you, I suspect. The compliment makes my traitorous heart flutter. I pull my hand from his, needing space. Stop doing that. Doing what? Saying things that make me want to like you. He smiles. A real smile this time, not the cruel smirk from last night. It transforms his face, makes him look younger, almost boyish. Would it be so terrible, liking me? Yes, I say firmly, because the moment I start liking you, I'll forget that you took my choices away. I'll forget that none of this is real. Who says it's not real? He steps closer, and I'm trapped between him and a stone wall covered in climbing roses. The bond between us is real, Bella. The way your wolf responds to mine is real. The fact that I would burn down the entire world to keep you safe? That's real. You don't know me, I protest weakly. Then let me know you. His hand comes up to cup my cheek, and I should pull away, but I don't. Give me a chance to show you that this can be more than a business arrangement, that we can be more. And if I don't want more, then I'll accept that. But his eyes say otherwise. His eyes say he'll do everything in his power to change my mind. Alpha Rowland! We both turn to see Kieran jogging toward us, his expression grim. Whatever news he's bringing, it's not good. What is it? Rowland asks, instantly shifting into alpha mode. We have a problem. The rogues. They're at the border, and they're asking for Bella. My blood turns to ice. What? Rowland's hand moves to my waist, pulling me protectively against his side. How many? At least 20 that we can see. Could be more in the forest. Kieran's eyes flick to me with something like pity. They're demanding we hand her over. They say Luke Moore promised her to them as payment for services rendered. My father wouldn't, but I stopped, because of course he would. He sold pack secrets, got people killed, and destroyed lives for money. Why wouldn't he promise me to rogues too? The betrayal cuts deeper than anything else that's happened. They're not getting her. Rowland growls, his voice dropping to something primal and dangerous. His arm tightens around me, and I can feel him trembling with barely contained rage. Not now, not ever. They're threatening war if we refuse, Kieran says quietly. They have allies, other rogue packs. They could bring 50, maybe 100 wolves against us. Then let them come. Rowland's eyes flash gold, his wolf rising to the surface. Every wolf in a 100-mile radius will know that Bella Moore is mine. Mine to protect, mine to claim, mine to keep. And anyone who tries to take her from me will die screaming. The possessiveness in his voice should terrify me. Instead, it makes my wolf rumble with approval, makes something hot and primal unfurl in my core. God, what's wrong with me? We should get her inside, Kieran suggests. Somewhere secure until we deal with this. No. I pull away from Rowland's grip, straightening my spine. If they're here because of me, I should face them. Absolutely not, Rowland snaps. You're not going anywhere near those animals. They're here because my father made promises he had no right to make, I argue. The least I can do is tell them myself that those promises are void. Bella, I'm not helpless, Rowland, and I'm not going to hide while your pack fights battles on my behalf. I meet his furious gaze with one of my own. You wanted me to be your Luna. Then treat me like one. Let me stand beside you and face this. For a long moment, he just stares at me, and I can see the internal battle raging. His wolf wants to lock me away, keep me safe, protect me from every possible threat. But the alpha in him, the part that recognized my strength from the beginning, knows I'm right. You stay behind me, he finally growls. You don't speak unless I give you permission, and if I tell you to run, you run. Understood? Understood. He doesn't look happy about it, but he nods curtly to Kieran. Gather the enforcers. Full battle formation. Let's go remind these rogues why we're called the Forbidden Pack. The border of Moonstone territory is marked by a line of ancient stones, each one carved with pack symbols and warded with protective magic. Beyond it lies neutral ground, a strip of forest that belongs to no pack, where rogues and outcasts can move freely without fear of immediate attack. Today, that neutral ground is filled with wolves. They're a motley group, these rogues. Some are clearly former pack wolves, still carrying themselves with military precision. Others are feral, their eyes wild, their postures hunched and aggressive. But all of them have one thing in common. They're staring at me with hunger that makes my skin crawl. I say, Rowland has positioned me behind him, surrounded by a circle of his largest enforcers. I can feel the power radiating from him, his alpha authority filling the air like thunder before a storm. Every wolf on both sides of the border can feel it too. That undeniable command that makes even the strongest wolves want to bow. You have trespassed on my borders, Rowland calls out, his voice carrying across the clearing. State your business or leave. Now. A wolf steps forward from the rogue pack, a scarred male with gray streaking his dark hair and eyes like chips of ice. He's old, but not weak. Dangerous. Alpha Rowland, he says with mock courtesy. Or should I say, the Forbidden Alpha. We're not here for trouble. We're here to collect what was promised to us. Nothing on my territory belongs to you. Ah, but she's not yours yet, is she? The rogue's eyes slide past Rowland to lock onto me. Bella Moore. We've been waiting a long time for you, little wolf. Your father promised you to our pack leader 3 months ago. Payment for information, for protection, for services rendered. 3 months ago, the same time Rowland claims he first caught my scent. My father had no right to make that promise, I called out, ignoring Rowland's warning growl, and I have no intention of honoring it. The rogue smiles, showing yellowed teeth. Unfortunately for you, little wolf, we've already paid. And we always collect our debts. She's not a commodity to be traded, Rowland snarls, taking a step forward. The enforcers move with him, a coordinated unit of lethal force. Bella Moore is under my protection. She is to be my mate, my Luna. Any wolf who tries to take her will face me. Mate? The rogue laughs, and several others join in. Come now, Rowland. Everyone knows you're not capable of taking a true mate. You're too cold, too ruthless, too broken. That's why they call you forbidden, because no female in her right mind would choose you. I feel Rowland tense, see something flicker in his eyes. Pain? Shame? It's gone before I can identify it. My personal life is none of your concern, he says coldly. Leave now, or I'll consider this an act of war. Oh, it's already war, Forbidden Alpha. The rogue signals, and suddenly the forest comes alive with movement. Wolves emerge from the trees, not 20, not 50, but what looks like hundreds. They surround us on all sides, a sea of fur and fangs and glowing eyes. We're outnumbered at least 3 to 1. Last chance, the scarred rogue says. Give us the girl and we'll leave peacefully. Keep her and we'll take her by force. Your choice. Rowland's hand finds mine, squeezing once. Bella, run. No. Damn it, this isn't the time for stubbornness. I said no. I step out from behind him, ignoring his furious growl. If you want me, I call to the rogues, then come and get me, but know this. I'm not some helpless female to be traded between males like property. I'm a daughter of the northern packs, and I will fight every single one of you before I let you touch me. The clearing goes silent. Then the scarred rogue starts laughing. Oh, I like her. She's got spirit. That will make breaking her so much more satisfying. He shifts. One moment he's human, the next he's a massive gray wolf, scarred and battle-worn. His pack follows suit, 100 wolves transforming in a wave of fur and power. Protect Luna! Rowland roars, and then he's shifting too, his clothes tearing as his body expands and reforms. The wolf that emerges is enormous, easily twice the size of the average wolf, with fur as black as midnight and those same golden eyes burning with fury. He's magnificent, and then there's no more time to think, because the rogues are charging. The Moonstone Enforcers meet them head-on, and suddenly the clearing erupts into chaos. Wolves collide in mid-air, teeth and claws flashing. The sound is deafening, snarls, howls, the crunch of bone and the wet tear of flesh. I'm frozen for a moment, overwhelmed by the violence, by the sheer savagery of it. This isn't like the controlled sparring I'm used to. This is a real battle, life or death, and the smell of blood is already thick in the air. A gray wolf breaks through the line, heading straight for me. My wolf surges forward, demanding to be released, and I don't fight her. I shift in a heartbeat, my human form giving way to my wolf's smaller, leaner body. The rogue leaps, and I dodge, using my size to my advantage. He's bigger, stronger, but I'm faster. I dart beneath him, snapping at his exposed belly, and he yelps as my teeth find purchase. But there are more coming. Too many. I'm about to be overwhelmed when a black blur slams into my attackers. Rowland. He's protecting me, keeping the rogues away even as he fights 3 at once. Blood stains his dark fur, but I can't tell if it's his or theirs. Rye, his voice echoes in my mind. The alpha command making my legs tremble with the need to obey. Get back to the manor. Now. No, I send back, surprising myself with my defiance. I'm not leaving you, Bella. But whatever he was going to say is cut off as the scarred rogue, the leader, barrels into him, sending them both tumbling across the clearing. They're evenly matched, these two alphas, each one a force of nature. More rogues close in on me. I fight, claws and teeth, but they're coordinated, working together to corner me. One gets its jaws around my hind leg, and pain explodes up my side. I yelp, twisting to snap at my attacker, but another hits me from the side, and suddenly I'm down, pinned, teeth at my throat. A howl splits the air. Not just any howl. An alpha command, so powerful that every wolf in the clearing freezes. Even the rogues, even their leader. We're all locked in place, compelled to stillness by the sheer force of will behind that sound. Rowland stands over me, his fur bristling, his golden eyes blazing. Blood drips from his muzzle, and there are wounds all over his body, but he stands tall and terrible. Every inch the forbidden alpha. Mine, he snarls, and the word reverberates through the pack bond, through every wolf present. She is mine. Any wolf who touches her again will face my full wrath. I will hunt you. I will find you. And I will tear you apart so slowly that you'll beg for death long before I grant it. The scarred rogue shifts back to human form, apparently able to resist the alpha command through sheer force of will. You can't protect her forever, Rowland. We'll be back, and next time, we'll bring enough wolves to bury you. Try it, Rowland growls. I welcome the challenge. For a long moment, the two alphas stare at each other, the tension so thick I can taste it. Then the scarred rogue signals, and his pack begins to retreat, melting back into the forest. But not before he calls back one last time. Enjoy your mate while you can, forbidden alpha. She won't be yours for long. Chapter 4. Rowland. The moment the rogues are gone, I shift back to human form and drop to my knees beside Bella. She's still in wolf form, still frozen from my alpha command, her brown eyes wide with shock. Bella, I say softly, releasing my hold on her. Shift back. Let me see how badly you're hurt. She shifts, her wolf giving way to the naked female form that makes my mouth go dry despite the situation. One of my enforcers has the presence of mind to toss me a blanket, which I immediately wrap around her. I'm fine, she gasps, but I can see the blood seeping from the bite wound on her thigh. It's just a scratch. It's not just a scratch. I lift her into my arms, ignoring her protests. Kieran, get the pack healer to my quarters immediately and double the border patrol. If a single rogue sets foot on our territory, I want to know about it. Yes, Alpha, Kieran responds, already barking orders. I carry Bella back toward the manor, my wolf still raging inside me, demanding that I go back and slaughter every rogue who dared to touch our mate. But she needs me more than I need vengeance. For now. You can put me down, Bella says as we enter the manor. I can walk. No. Rowland, you could have died out there, I snapped, my control finally cracking. You could have been taken, hurt, killed, and all because you were too stubborn to run when I told you to. I'm not going to apologize for fighting, she fires back. You're the one who said you wanted a strong Luna. Well, strong Lunas don't run and hide when their pack is in danger. Their pack? I stop, staring down at her. These aren't your wolves, Bella. You're not even officially part of the pack yet. Something flickers across her face. Hurt? Anger? You're right, she says quietly. I'm not. I'm just the female you're forcing into marriage. Silly me for thinking I should act like I actually give a damn. The words sting more than they should. I carry her the rest of the way to my quarters in silence, laying her on the bed as gently as I can. The healer, an elderly female named Mara, arrives moments later with her medical supplies. Out, she orders me. I need room to work. I'm not leaving. Then sit in the corner and be quiet. She turns to Bella with a much softer expression. Let's take a look at that leg, child. I retreat to the sitting area, watching as Mara cleans and treats the bite wound. It's deep, but not life-threatening. Bella will heal quickly with her wolf metabolism. But seeing her blood, seeing the evidence of how close I came to losing her, my wolf is howling for vengeance. She's lucky, Mara says after she's finished bandaging the wound. A few inches higher and that bite would have hit the femoral artery. She wouldn't have survived. Bella pales at this information, and I feel my control slip another notch. Thank you, Mara, I managed. Please see that the other wounded are treated as well. After she leaves, Bella and I sit in silence. She's still wrapped in the blanket, her hair wild around her shoulders, and despite everything, despite the blood and the violence and the fear, she's never looked more beautiful. You scared me today, I finally say. She looks up, surprised. I scared you? When I saw those rogues on you, when I heard you cry out. I run a hand through my hair, trying to find the words. I've never felt terror like that. Not in battle, not when I fought for my position as alpha, never. The thought of losing you, I break off, unable to continue. But you barely know me, she whispers. I know enough. I move to sit beside her on the bed, careful not to jostle her injured leg. I know you're brave. I know you're fierce and stubborn and willing to fight for what you believe in. I know that my wolf recognized you as our mate the moment we caught your scent, and that nothing, not your father's betrayal, not rogue threats, not your own reluctance, is going to change that. Rowland. She trails off, looking lost. I don't know what you want from me. I want you to give us a chance, I say simply. I know this started badly. I know I took your choices away, forced you into an impossible situation. But Bella, what I said earlier was true. You are my true mate. I feel it in every fiber of my being, and I think, if you're honest with yourself, you feel it too. She doesn't deny it, which tells me everything I need to know. The mate bond, she starts hesitantly. It can make you feel things that aren't real, chemical reactions, biological imperatives. How do we know this isn't just our wolves recognizing compatible genetics? Because I've never felt this way about anyone, I reply. I'm 32 years old, Bella. I've met hundreds of females and had opportunities to take a mate before. But I never wanted to. I never felt that pull, that need, until you. That's not fair, she says, and there are tears in her eyes now. You can't just say things like that and expect me to forget everything else. I'm not asking you to forget. I'm asking you to move forward. I reach out slowly, giving her time to pull away and cup her face in my hand. The ceremony is in 4 days. After that, you'll be bound to me, bound to this pack, whether you like it or not. But it doesn't have to be a prison sentence, Bella. It can be something more. Something real. And if I can't give you what you want, she whispers, if I can't love you the way a mate should, then I'll love you enough for both of us, I say, and mean it. I'm a patient male, Bella. I can wait for you to come to me, but I won't let you go. Not now, not ever. She searches my face for a long moment, and I see the war playing out in her eyes. Fear and attraction, resentment and curiosity, anger and something that might be the beginning of acceptance. Finally, she sighs. I don't have much choice, do I? You always have a choice, but some choices are better than others. That's a very good thing to say. I am an alpha. I brush my thumb across her cheekbone, feeling her shiver at the contact. You're alpha, if you'll have me. For 4 more days, I can pretend I have options, she says, but there's no heat in it. After that, we'll see. It's not a declaration of love, not even close. But it's not outright rejection either, and for now, that's enough. I lean in slowly, giving her every opportunity to stop me and press my lips to her forehead. The contact sends electricity racing through my veins, and I hear her breath catch. Rest, I murmured against her skin. I'll have food sent up. And Bella? Yes? Thank you for fighting today, for standing beside me even though you had every reason to run. It meant more than you know. Her hand comes up to rest on my chest, right over my heart. I meant what I said out there. I'm not property to be traded between males. I make my own choices. I know. I cover her hand with mine. And I'm grateful that, for now, you're choosing to stay. The next 4 days pass in a strange blur of wedding preparations and battle readiness. Kieran has been working around the clock to organize the ceremony. Bella requested something simple, but pack tradition demands certain rituals be observed. There will be the formal presentation to the pack, the exchange of vows under the full moon, and the claiming bite that will seal our bond. That last part makes Bella nervous. I can see it in the way she touches her neck sometimes, in the questions she asks Mara about what to expect. The claiming bite is intimate, powerful, and irreversible. Once I mark her, she'll bear my scent for the rest of her life. Every wolf will know she's mine, and the bond between us will be unbreakable. It should happen during the consummation of our mating, but given the circumstances, I've agreed to delay that part as promised. The bite, however, must happen during the ceremony itself. Pack law demands it. Meanwhile, the rogues have been testing our borders. Nothing as aggressive as that first attack. But they're there, watching, waiting. I've tripled the patrols and called in favors from allied packs. If the rogues want war, we'll give it to them. But not until after Bella is safely bound to me. I find her in the gardens on the evening before the ceremony, sitting on a bench overlooking the valley. She's wearing a simple dress, green like her eyes, and her hair is loose around her shoulders. She looks peaceful, almost content, and I hesitate to disturb her. But she senses me anyway, turning with a small smile. Hey. Hey yourself. I join her on the bench, maintaining a respectful distance. We've been circling each other these past few days, both of us trying to figure out what this relationship is becoming. Nervous? Terrified, she admits. Is that normal? Completely. I'd look out at the sunset painting the sky in shades of orange and pink. I'm terrified too, if it helps. You? The forbidden alpha? Terrified? She laughs softly. Somehow I doubt that. I'm terrified of disappointing you, I say honestly, of failing to be the mate you deserve, of pushing too hard or not hard enough, of waking up one day and seeing nothing but resentment in your eyes. She's quiet for a moment. I visited my father today. The change of subject surprises me. How is he? Pathetic, broken, begging for forgiveness that I don't know if I can give. She pulls her knees up to her chest, wrapping her arms around them. He kept saying he was sorry, that he never meant for any of this to happen, but he did mean it, didn't he? He made choices, terrible choices, and now I'm paying the price. We're all paying the price for his choices, I agree. But Bella, what happened between your father and those rogues, that's not on you. You don't have to carry his shame. Then whose is it? She turns to look at me, and there are tears on her cheeks. Because someone has to be responsible. Someone has to pay for what he did. He's paying. Every day he spends in confinement, knowing he destroyed his relationship with his daughter, knowing he's the reason you're here. That's his payment. Is it enough? That's for you to decide. She wipes her eyes, taking a shaky breath. I keep thinking about my mom, about what she would say if she could see me now. Would she be proud that I saved my father's life? Or disappointed that I let myself be traded like cattle? Your mother would be proud, I say firmly. Because you made an impossible choice with grace and courage. You saved a life, even though that life didn't deserve saving. That takes strength, Bella. Real strength. You didn't know my mother. No, but I'm getting to know her daughter, and if you're even half the female she was, then she must have been extraordinary. Bella laughs through her tears. You're very good at saying the right thing. Only when I mean it. I reach out, offering my hand. Come on, there's something I want to show you. She takes my hand, a small victory that makes my wolf purr with satisfaction, and lets me lead her through the gardens to a path I've been saving for the right moment. We walk in comfortable silence, the evening air cool against our skin, until we reach a clearing at the highest point of the estate. From here, you can see the entire valley spread out below, the packlands stretching to the horizon. This is where my parents used to come, I told her, when they needed to escape pack politics, when they just wanted to be together. My father brought my mother here the night he proposed. It's beautiful, Bella breathes. I wanted you to see it before the ceremony. I want you to know that this is your home now, all of it. The land, the pack, the responsibilities. But also the beauty, the peace, the possibility of happiness. She's quiet for a long time, just looking out at the view. Then, Rowland, can I ask you something? Anything. That rogue, the leader. He said something about you being unable to take a true mate, that you're too broken. What did he mean? I stiffen, old pain rising to the surface. It's not important. It is to me. I sigh, knowing I owe her honesty if nothing else. 5 years ago, I was engaged. Her name was Lydia, and I thought she could be my mate. Not my true mate, but close enough. We were planning the ceremony, ready to bond, when I discovered she was working with a rival pack. She was passing them information, undermining my authority, planning to have me killed so her lover, an alpha from the Redwood pack, could take over Moonstone. Bella gasps. What happened? I caught her before she could complete her plan, exiled her and everyone involved. But the damage was done there. Word spread that the forbidden alpha couldn't even secure loyalty from his own mate. that I was too cold, too ruthless to inspire real devotion. Some say that's why I've never taken another female seriously. I turned to face her fully, but the truth is, I've just been waiting for someone real. Someone strong enough to stand beside me, brave enough to challenge me, honest enough to call me out when I'm wrong. Someone like me, she whispers. Exactly like you. The air between us is charged now, heavy with possibility. I can see her pulse fluttering in her throat, can smell the spike of arousal mixing with her fear and uncertainty. Tomorrow, I say quite quietly, you'll be mine in the eyes of the pack, in the eyes of the moon. But Bella, I want more than that. I want you to be mine because you choose it. Not because you were forced, not because of some agreement, but because you want to be. I don't know if I can give you that. I know, that's why I'm willing to wait. I step closer, unable to resist the pull anymore. But I need you to know, when I mark you tomorrow, when I claim you as my mate, it won't just be for show. It will be real for me. You'll be real for me. Rowland. I silence her with a finger on her lips. You don't have to say anything. Just think about it. Think about the possibility that this could be more than a forced bond. That we could be more. Then before I can do something stupid like kiss her before she's ready, I step back. Come on, it's getting late and you need your rest. Big day tomorrow. She lets me lead her back to the manor, but I can feel the shift between us. Something's changed. Some walls have started to crack. It's not much, but it's a beginning. Chapter 5. Bella, the day of the ceremony dawns bright and clear. The kind of perfect autumn day that seems designed for important moments. I barely slept, my mind spinning with Rowland's words, with the weight of what's about to happen. In a few hours, I'll be bonded to him for life, marked as his mate, claimed as his Luna, forever tied to the forbidden Alpha and his pack. The thought should terrify me. Instead, I feel calm, maybe even ready. Mara and several pack females arrive at dawn to help me prepare. They bring the traditional Luna dress. White silk that flows like water, with silver embroidery that catches the light. It's beautiful, far more beautiful than anything I would have chosen for myself. You're going to take Alpha Rowland's breath away, Mara says with a knowing smile as she helps me into the dress. That's not the point of this, I protest weakly, isn't it? She meets my eyes in the mirror. Child, I've known Rowland since he was a pup. I've never seen him look at anyone the way he looks at you. Whatever brought you here, whatever circumstances forced this bond, don't discount what's real between you. What if nothing's real? I whisper. What if it's just the mate bond, just biology? Then you're luckier than most, she says gently. Do you know how many wolves go their entire lives never finding their true mate? How many settle for convenience or politics or simple companionship? You've been given something precious, Bella. Don't throw it away because you're afraid. Her words echo in my mind as the other females finish preparing me. Flowers woven into my hair, a silver necklace that belonged to Rowland's mother placed around my throat, ceremonial markings painted on my arms in preparation for the bite. By the time they're done, I barely recognize myself in the mirror. I look like Luna. The ceremony is held in a clearing deep in pack territory, under an ancient oak tree that's supposed to be blessed by the moon goddess herself. The entire pack has gathered, hundreds of wolves in both human and animal form, all watching as Kieran escorts me down a path lined with white roses. And at the end of that path, waiting under the oak tree, is Rowland. He's dressed in traditional alpha garb, black leather and silver chains, his chest bare to show the pack tattoos that mark his lineage. His hair is pulled back, emphasizing those sharp cheekbones, that strong jaw. But it's his eyes that capture me. Those golden eyes burning with intensity and something that looks almost like wonder. He's looking at me like I'm the only person in the world. When I reach him, Kieran places my hand in Rowland's and steps back. The pack elder, a wizened male named Thomas, begins the ceremony. We gather under the light of the full moon to witness the bonding of Alpha Rowland Park and Bella Moore, he intones. Two souls, brought together by fate and the will of the goddess, to be joined as one. The words wash over me, familiar and strange at once. I've attended pack bonding ceremonies before, but being the center of one is entirely different. Alpha Rowland, Thomas continues. Do you swear to protect this female, to provide for her, to honor her as your mate and your equal for all the days of your life? I do, Rowland says, his voice carrying across the clearing. His thumb strokes across my knuckles. I swear it on my blood, on my pack, on everything I am. Bella Moore, do you accept this male as your mate? Do you swear to stand beside him, to support him, to honor the bond that the goddess has woven between you? I hesitate, just for a moment. This is it, the point of no return. Once I say these words, once Rowland marks me, there's no going back. But maybe I don't want to go back. Maybe forward is the only direction that matters now. I do, I say clearly. I swear it. The pack erupts in howls, a chorus of approval that echoes through the forest. Rowland's eyes flash gold, his wolf rising to the surface. Then by the power vested in me by pack law and the blessing of the moon goddess, Thomas declares, I pronounce you bonded mates. Alpha Rowland, you may claim your Luna. Rowland pulls me close, and I can feel the tremor running through his body. Anticipation, desire, barely controlled need. Are you ready? He murmurs so only I can hear. No. Yes, I don't know. Do it, I whisper. He tilts my head to the side, exposing the junction between my neck and shoulder. His breath is hot against my skin, and I feel my wolf surge forward, eager despite my uncertainty. Then his teeth sink into my flesh. Pain explodes through me, sharp and overwhelming, but it's immediately followed by something else. Pleasure, so intense it steals my breath. Power, flowing from him into me, the alpha bond settling into place like a key turning in a lock. And beneath it all, I feel it, the mate bond. Real, undeniable, binding us together in ways I never imagined possible. I can feel his emotions now, his fierce joy, his protective instinct, his overwhelming desire. And he can feel mine. My fear, yes, but also my growing acceptance, my reluctant attraction, my hope that maybe, just maybe, this could work. When he releases me, licking the wound to help it heal, I'm trembling. The bite mark burns like a brand, and I know without looking that it will scar, a permanent mark of ownership, of belonging. Mine, he rumbles, and his wolf is there in his voice, in his eyes. My mate, my Luna. Yours, I hear myself agree, and I mean it. The pack erupts again, celebrating the completion of the bond. But Rowland and I are lost in each other, the rest of the world fading away. How do you feel? He asks, his hand steady on my waist. Different, I admit. Connected, like I can feel you inside my head. That's the mate bond. It will grow stronger with time, especially after we... He trails off, but I know what he means. After we consummate the mating, after we complete the bond fully, I have 1 week before that happens. 1 week to adjust to being his mate, his Luna, before he expects me in his bed. The thought should terrify me. Instead, looking into those golden eyes, feeling the pull of the bond between us, I find myself wondering if I'll even want to wait that long. The reception is held in the pack house, a massive celebration with food and drink and dancing that goes late into the night. As the new Luna, I'm expected to mingle, to accept congratulations from pack members I've never met, to act like this is the happiest day of my life. The strange thing is, parts of it actually are happy. The pack members are warm, welcoming. They treat me with respect, with genuine affection, and several tell me stories about Rowland that make me see him in a new light. The fierce alpha who fought off my attackers is also the male who personally delivers food to elderly pack members who can't make it to communal dinners. The ruthless leader is also the one who sits with newly shifted pups to help them control their first transformations. He's more complex than I gave him credit for, and through it all, I can feel him. The mate bond hums between us, a constant awareness of where he is, what he's feeling. When he's pleased with how I'm handling Luna duties, I feel his pride. When a younger male stands too close, I feel his possessive surge. It's intimate in a way that has nothing to do with physical touch. Finally, as the moon reaches its zenith, Rowland finds me on the terrace, looking out at the celebrating pack. "Tired?" he asks, slipping an arm around my waist. Exhausted, I admit, leaning into his warmth without thinking. The mate bond makes it natural, comfortable. "But it's been nice. Your pack is wonderful." "Our pack," he corrects gently. "They're yours now too, Luna." The title still feels strange on my tongue, but I'm getting used to it. "Our pack," I agree. We stand in comfortable silence for a moment, just watching the celebration. Then Rowland speaks, his voice low and intimate. "I need to tell you something." My stomach tightens with anxiety. "What?" "The rogues. They've been quiet since the ceremony began, but my scouts report they're gathering forces, more than before." He turns me to face him, his expression serious. "They're planning another attack. Soon." "How soon?" "Within the week. Within the week. Before our mating is even consummated, before the bond is fully sealed." "What do we do?" "We prepare," he says simply. "I've called in allies from neighboring packs. Even the ones who usually won't work with me have agreed to help defend Moonstone. And you. The rogue's leader, the one with the scars, his name is Darius. He's been building an army for years, and your father's information helped him do it. Now he sees you as the prize that will legitimize his claim to power." "I don't understand. How would having me give him power?" "Because you're a purebred northern wolf," Rowland explains. "Your bloodline is ancient, tied to the original packs. If Darius could force a bond with you, if he could sire heirs with your blood, he'd have the legitimacy he needs to challenge established alphas. He could unite the rogues under a banner of royal lineage." The implications make me sick. So this was never just about my father's debt. "No, Darius has been planning this for a long time. Your father's betrayal simply gave him the opening he needed. I should be angry, should be terrified, but instead, I feel something else rising inside me, determination." "Then we end this. We end him." Rowland's eyes gleam with approval. "That's my Luna talking." "I'm serious, Rowland. I won't spend the rest of my life looking over my shoulder, waiting for rogues to attack. If Darius wants war, let's give it to him. On our terms." You understand what you're saying? A war like this, wolves will die. Good wolves, on both sides. I understand. I meet his gaze steadily. But I also understand that sometimes you have to fight for what's yours. And this pack, our pack, they're worth fighting for. Something shifts in Rowland's expression, something soft and vulnerable that I've never seen before. How did I get so lucky? He murmurs, pulling me close. How did I get blessed with a mate who's not only beautiful and brave, but fierce enough to stand beside me in war? Luck had nothing to do with it, I say, surprising myself with the admission. The goddess knew what she was doing when she bound us together. You believe that now? He sounds almost hopeful. I'm starting to. I rest my hand over his heart, feeling it beat strong and steady beneath my palm. I'm still angry about how this started. Still hurt by my father's betrayal, still adjusting to all of this. But Rowland, I can't deny what I feel through the bond. Can't deny that my wolf recognizes you as our mate, our alpha. And I can't deny that when I look at you now, I see more than the male who forced me into this. I see the alpha who protected me, the male who's been patient with me, the mate who's trying to give me choices even though the bond gives you every right to simply take what you want. I'll never take what you don't want to give, he says fiercely. That's not who I am, Bella, not with you. I know, and I do. Through the bond, I can feel his sincerity, his desire tempered by respect. That's why I want to tell you something. What's that? I take a deep breath, gathering my courage. The week you gave me to adjust before the bond is completed. I don't think I need it. Rowland goes very still. Bella, I'm not saying tonight, I clarify quickly, feeling heat rush to my cheeks. I'm not ready for that yet. But maybe, soon, before the battle with Darius, because if something happens, if one of us doesn't survive, I don't want to have regrets. I don't want to wonder what it would have been like to be truly yours. His hands tighten on my waist, and through the bond I feel his surge of desire, quickly tempered by concern. Nothing is going to happen to you. I won't allow it. You can't promise that. Watch me. He cups my face in his hands, his golden eyes burning into mine. I will protect you with everything I have, Bella. My life, my pack, my power, all of it stands between you and anyone who would harm you. Darius will die before he touches you again. And who protects you? I ask softly. The question seems to surprise him. I'm an alpha. I don't need protection. Everyone needs protection sometimes, even forbidden alphas. I lean up on my toes, bringing us face to face. When this battle comes, we face it together, as mates, as equals. No more protecting me by keeping me in the dark or making me stay behind. Agreed? I can see the war playing out on his face, his instinct to keep me safe warring with his respect for my strength. Finally, he nods. Agreed. But Bella, I reserve the right to lose my mind if you put yourself in unnecessary danger. Fair enough. I smile, feeling lighter than I have in days. Now I believe there's a tradition about the Alpha and Luna sharing the first dance. There is, he agrees, taking my hand. Though I should warn you, I'm not much of a dancer. Somehow, I doubt that. He leads me back inside where the pack has cleared a space in the center of the hall. Music swells, something traditional, with drums and strings that echo ancient pack songs. And Rowland pulls me into his arms. He was lying about not being a good dancer. He moves with the same grace and control he shows in everything else, guiding me across the floor with confidence. And with the mate bond singing between us, it's easy to follow his lead, to let myself sink into the moment. "Thank you," he murmurs as we turn. "For what?" "For giving this a chance, for not hating me even though you have every right to." "I could never hate you," I admit. "Resent you, maybe, be furious with you, definitely. But hate? No, my wolf wouldn't allow it, even if I wanted to." "And what does your wolf think of me now?" I consider the question, checking in with the instinctive part of myself that's been unusually vocal since we bonded. "She thinks you're arrogant and overprotective and far too used to getting your own way." "Accurate," he agrees with a small smile. "But she also thinks you're strong and honorable and worthy of being our alpha." I meet his eyes. "She trusts you, Rowland. And slowly, I'm learning to trust you too." The smile that crosses his face is radiant, transforming his usually serious features. He spins me out and pulls me back, dipping me low enough that my hair brushes the floor. "That's all I can ask for," he says, his face inches from mine. "Trust and time and the chance to prove I can be the mate you deserve." "You're doing pretty well so far," I admit, "Wait until you see what I have planned for after the battle." "Oh, and what's that?" His eyes darken with promise. "A proper honeymoon. Somewhere far from rogues and pack politics and responsibilities. Just you and me with all the time in the world to explore this bond between us." The thought sends heat pooling in my belly. "That sounds nice." "Nice?" He raises an eyebrow. "I'm planning to worship every inch of your body, show you pleasures you've never imagined, and make you scream my name so loud the neighboring territories hear it. And you think that sounds nice?" I'm blushing furiously now, very aware of the pack members watching us. "Rowland," he laughs, the sound rich and genuine. "Sorry, Luna, but you should know by now, I don't do anything halfway." I'm learning that. The song ends and the pack erupts in applause. Other couples take to the floor, and Rowland leads me to the table set up for us, the place of honor, where the Alpha and Luna preside over the celebration. As I sit beside him, his hand finding mine under the table, I realize something has shifted. This morning, I was a reluctant bride, forced into a bond I didn't choose. Tonight, I'm starting to understand what it means to be a Luna, to be part of something bigger than myself. I'm starting to understand what it means to have a mate. And maybe, just maybe, I'm starting to fall for the forbidden alpha who claimed me. Chapter 6, Rowland. 3 days after the ceremony, Darius makes his move. It's still dark when Kieran shakes me awake, his face grim. They're here. South border, at least 200 rogues, maybe more. I'm out of bed in an instant, careful not to wake Bella. She's curled on her side, her hair spread across the pillow, and the sight of her makes my wolf snarl with protective fury. This is exactly what I was afraid of. Darius attacking before the bond is fully sealed, before Bella is truly protected by my mark. But we knew this was coming. We've prepared. Mobilize the pack, I tell Kieran, already pulling on clothes. Full defensive formation. Alert our allies that it's time. Already done. He hands me my weapons, silver-lined claws that fit over my human hands, a blade forged from meteorite iron, tools for killing rogues. Alpha, Bella can't be anywhere near this battle. I know, but even as I say it, I feel her stirring, the mate bond alerting her to my distress. Rowland. Her voice is sleepy, confused. What's happening? Stay here, I order, moving to the window. I can see lights flickering in the distance, fires, probably, set by the rogues to create chaos. Darius is attacking. I need to lead the defense. She's out of bed immediately, reaching for clothes. Then let's go. No. We agreed. That was before I knew he'd bring an army this size. I round on her, fear making me sharp. Bella, this isn't like the last attack. This is war, real war, and you're staying here where it's safe. Her eyes flash with anger. You don't get to make that decision for me. I'm your alpha. I absolutely get to make that decision. And I'm your Luna. She steps close, jabbing a finger into my chest. Your mate, your partner, your equal. Or have you forgotten all of that already? I haven't forgotten, I growl, but I also haven't forgotten what Darius wants. You, Bella, he's coming for you. And I'll be damned if I let him anywhere near you. So you'll lock me up like a prisoner instead? If that's what it takes to keep you safe, yes. We're both breathing hard, the mate bond crackling with our combined anger and fear. Through it, I can feel her frustration, her need to fight, to prove herself. But I can also feel something else. Her fear. Not for herself, but for me. She's afraid I'll get hurt protecting her. The realization softens my anger. Bella, I say more gently, reaching for her. I can't fight if I'm worried about you. Please, stay here. Let me protect our pack, protect our home. Trust me to come back to you. Her jaw clenches, and for a moment I think she'll refuse. Then she sighs, her shoulders dropping. Fine. But Rowland, if you die out there, I'm going to be very angry with you. Despite everything, I smile. Noted. I pull her into a fierce kiss, pouring everything I feel into it. My love, my fear, my promise to return. She kisses me back just as fiercely, her nails digging into my shoulders. Come back to me, she whispers against my lips. That's an order from your Luna. Yes, Luna. I kiss her forehead, breathing in her scent one last time. Then I force myself to step away, to leave her behind. Kieran is waiting outside the door. I've posted guards, 10 of our best warriors. Nothing gets past them to Bella. Good. But it's not enough. Nothing will ever be enough when it comes to protecting my mate. We race through the manor, gathering warriors as we go. The pack is already mobilizing, shifting into wolf form, preparing weapons. They're ready. We've drilled for this, prepared for every scenario. But no amount of preparation can quite ready you for the sight that greets us at the south border. 200 rogues, Kieran said. He underestimated. There are at least 300 wolves spreading across our border, with more emerging from the forest every moment. They've brought fighters from multiple rogue packs, united under Darius's banner. It's the largest rogue army I've ever seen. And at their head, standing in human form with a cruel smile, is Darius himself. Rowland, he calls as we approach. The Forbidden Alpha. I was hoping you'd come out to play. I shift to human form as well, wanting the ability to communicate clearly. You're trespassing on Moonstone land, Darius. Leave now or die here. Bold words for an alpha who's outnumbered 3-1, he replies. But I didn't come here to kill you, Rowland. I came for what belongs to me. Nothing here belongs to you. Bella Moore does. Her father promised her to me. I paid good money for information about your precious packs, and I expect delivery of my purchase. She's not for sale, I snarl, feeling my wolf rising. She's my mate, my Luna, and you'll die before you touch her. We'll see about that. Darius signals, and his army surges forward. For Moonstone, I roar, shifting mid-leap. The two forces collide in an explosion of fur and fangs and blood. I tear into the nearest rogues, my alpha strength making me a force of nature. Wolves fall before me, but there are always more. Too many. Where are our allies? As if in answer to my thought, howls echo from the west. Then the north. Allied packs, arriving just in time, smashing into the rogue flanks. The tide begins to turn. But Darius is fighting his way toward the manor, toward Bella. I break away from the battle, racing to intercept him. We collide in a tangle of teeth and claws, rolling across the blood-soaked ground. He's strong, this scarred alpha, and cunning. He fights dirty, going for tendons and soft tissue. But I fight with something he doesn't have, the desperate need to protect my mate. I get my jaws around his throat, ready to end this. Pain explodes through my side. Another rogue. Blindsiding me, giving Darius time to escape. I turn on my new attacker, fury driving me. But there are more coming. They've singled me out, trying to take down the alpha. Standard tactics, but effective. I'm surrounded, bleeding from a dozen wounds. When I feel it through the mate bond, Bella's terror. Someone's gotten past the guards. Someone's inside the manor. With my mate. Chapter 7, Bella. The sounds of battle are distant but unmistakable. Howls, snarls, the clash of bodies. I pace the bedroom, every instinct screaming at me to go help, to fight beside my pack, beside my mate. Through the bond, I can feel Rowland's fury, his fear, his determination. He's in the thick of it, fighting with everything he has. And I'm trapped here, useless. The guards outside the door are silent, vigilant. I can hear them occasionally shifting positions, talking in low voices. They're good males, loyal to Rowland, and I trust them to protect me. Which is why the sudden silence is so terrifying. "Hello?" I call, moving toward the door. "Is everything okay out there?" No response. My wolf surges to the surface, sensing danger. I grab the silver letter opener from Rowland's desk. Not much of a weapon, but better than nothing, and crack open the door. The hallway is empty. The guards are gone. No, not gone. I see a hand just visible around the corner. Unmoving. Dead. Terror floods through me, and I slam the door, locking it. But I know it won't hold. If someone got past 10 trained warriors, a locked door won't stop them. I send everything I'm feeling through the mate bond, hoping Rowland can sense it. Danger. Trapped. Need help. The door explodes inward, and a massive gray wolf enters. It shifts, revealing the scarred face of Darius. "Hello, little Luna," he says, his voice rough. Blood stains his mouth, my guard's blood. "Did you miss me?" "Stay back," I warn, raising the letter opener. "It's pathetic, but it's all I have." He laughs. "Oh, I like you, such fire. You're going to make magnificent pups." "I'd rather die." "That can be arranged." He lunges faster than I can react, but my wolf is faster. I shift mid-dodge, my smaller form slipping past his grab. I'm not a trained fighter like Rowland, but I'm quick, and I know this manor better than Darius does. I race through the doorway, down the hall with Darius in pursuit. He's larger, stronger, but the narrow corridors work in my favor. I leap through a window, thanking the goddess that we're only on the second floor, and hit the ground running. The battle is all around me now. Wolves everywhere fighting and dying. I smell blood, fear, death. But I also smell something else. Rowland. I run toward his scent, desperate, knowing that if I can reach him, I'll be safe. Through the bond, I feel his terror for me, his rage. He knows I'm in danger. He's coming. Darius catches me 20 yards from where Rowland is fighting. His jaws close on my hind leg, and I yelp in pain as we go down in a tangle. He's on top of me, too heavy, too strong. "Yield," he growls. "Come with me willingly, and I'll call off the attack. Your precious pack will live." I don't have to answer, because Rowland arrives like a force of nature. He slams into Darius, tearing him away from me. They roll apart, both shifting to human form, circling each other with murder in their eyes. "You touched my mate," Rowland snarls, and his voice is barely human. "You die for that." "Come and try, Forbidden Alpha," Darius taunts. They clash in a blur of movement too fast to follow. These are two alphas at the peak of their power, fighting for dominance, for survival, for me. Blood flicks. Bone cracks. They're both wounded, both weakening, but neither will yield. I shift back to human form, looking for any way to help. That's when I see it. A silver knife, dropped by one of the fallen warriors. Silver. Deadly to wolves. I grab it just as Darius gets the upper hand, pinning Rowland to the ground. His hand goes to Rowland's throat, squeezing. "Any last words?" Darius pants. "Yes," Rowland gasps. "Duck!" Darius looks confused, until I drive the silver blade between his shoulder blades. He howls, arching back, and Rowland uses the distraction to throw him off. Before Darius can recover, Rowland shifts and tears out his throat. It's over in seconds. The rogue alpha dies in the dirt, his blood soaking into moonstone soil. Around us, the battle is ending. With their leader dead, the rogues are retreating, scattering back into the forest. Allied packs are pursuing, but Rowland doesn't join them. He shifts back to human form and pulls me into his arms, holding me so tightly I can barely breathe. "You were supposed to stay in the room," he rasps. "He killed the guards, broke through the door." "I know, I felt your fear through the bond." He pulls back, examining me frantically. "Are you hurt?" "Just my leg. It's already healing." I cup his face, seeing the blood, the wounds, the exhaustion. "You're hurt worse." "I'll live." He presses his forehead to mine. "God, Bella. When I felt you were in danger, when I couldn't get to you, I've never been so terrified in my life." "I'm sorry. I know you wanted me to stay safe." "You saved my life," he interrupts. "That knife. The silver. If you hadn't acted when you did, Darius would have killed me." "I wasn't going to let that happen," I say fiercely. "You're my mate, Rowland. My alpha, and I protect what's mine." His eyes blaze gold. "Say that again." "You're mine," I repeat, and I mean it. Somewhere between the ceremony and this moment, between fear and trust, between resentment and acceptance, I've fallen for the Forbidden Alpha. Mine to protect, mine to stand beside, mine to love. "Bella, I love you," I say, the words coming easily now. I know it's fast, I know the circumstances were terrible, but I love you, and I don't want to wait anymore. Wait for what? For us to complete the bond, for you to claim me fully, for us to be truly mated. I kiss him, tasting blood and battle and promise. Take me home, Rowland. Take me to our bed. Make me yours in every way. The growl that rumbles from his chest is pure possession. You're sure? I've never been more sure of anything. Around us, the pack is celebrating their victory, tending to the wounded, securing the territory. But Rowland only has eyes for me. "Kieran," he calls. "Take command, secure the borders, treat the wounded, send messengers to our allies with thanks." "And you?" Kieran asks with a knowing smile. "I'm taking my Luna home." Rowland lifts me into his arms despite his wounds. And I'm not to be disturbed until tomorrow, at the earliest. The pack erupts in cheers and howls as Rowland carries me back toward the manor. Through the bond, I feel his love, his desire, his joy, and I send all the same back to him. This isn't how I imagined my love story would go. I never thought I'd be stolen from my home, forced into marriage with a forbidden alpha, marked and claimed before I was ready. But sometimes, the best love stories are the ones we never see coming. Sometimes, the forbidden things are exactly what we need. Epilogue. Bella 6 months later. I stand on the terrace of Moonstone Manor, watching the sun set over packlands that have become my home. My hand rests on the small swell of my belly, where new life grows. The heir Rowland wanted, the child we both already love. Strong arms wrap around me from behind, and Rowland's hand covers mine on my stomach. "How are my girls today?" he murmurs, pressing a kiss to my neck right over his claiming mark. "Girls?" I lean back against his chest. "What makes you so sure it's a girl?" "Just a feeling, though a boy would be just as welcome. As long as they don't inherit your stubborn streak," he laughs. "Says the female who charged into battle against my direct orders. I saved your life. You did." His hand tightens on my stomach. "You saved me in more ways than one, Bella. Before you, I was just the forbidden alpha, feared, respected, but alone. You made me more than that. You made me a mate, a husband, soon a father. You made me more too, I admit. I was so angry when you forced this bond. I thought I'd never forgive you, never love you. And now? Now I can't imagine my life without you." I turn in his arms, looking up at the male who stole my freedom and gave me everything in return. "I love you, Rowland Park. Even though you're arrogant and overprotective and way too used to getting your own way." "And I love you, Bella Park," he says, using my new name with clear satisfaction. "Even though you're stubborn and reckless and have absolutely no respect for my alpha authority. Someone has to keep you humble." Indeed. He kisses me softly, sweetly, in a way that still makes my heart race. "Thank you." For what? For giving us a chance, for seeing past the forbidden alpha to the male underneath, for loving me despite everything. "There is no despite," I corrected him. "I love you because of everything, because you're fierce and loyal and protective, because you fight for what you believe in, because you're the only alpha strong enough to be my mate." His eyes flash gold, his wolf rising to the surface. "Careful, Luna. Talk like that makes me want to carry you to our bed and remind you exactly what it means to be mine." "Maybe that's what I want," I tease. He growls, lifting me into his arms. "Then who am I to deny my Luna?" As he carries me inside, past pack members who smile and bow, I reflect on how much has changed. My father eventually earned a form of redemption, working tirelessly to rebuild what he destroyed. He'll never be fully forgiven, but he's trying. The rogues scattered after Darius's death, many actually petitioning to join legitimate packs. Without his influence, they found their way back to civilization. And Rowland and I, we built something beautiful from the ashes of that forced beginning. A partnership based on respect, trust, and yes, love. Real love. the kind worth fighting for. As Rowland lays me on our bed, his hands and mouth worshipping my body with familiar passion, I send up a silent thanks to the goddess who bound us together. She knew what she was doing when she made me the mate of the forbidden alpha. She knew that sometimes the best love stories begin with the worst circumstances. And she knew that I was strong enough to turn a forced bond into a love that would last forever. I love you, I whisper as Rowland claims to me again, our bond singing with perfect harmony. And I love you, my Luna, my mate, my Bella. His golden eyes burn into mine. Forever. Forever. Yes, I think pleasure overtakes us both. Forever sounds perfect. The end. Subscribe to my channel for more intriguing stories and comments where you are watching from. Thank you for watching.